Okay, so we've got inputs and outputs and numerical inputs and if statements, and now I'd like to do a little simulator and go over how to do like random values and loops. So again, in JavaScript, I'll just take a look at a simple simulator that we may have made in JavaScript. Maybe I just want to simply go let random number be assigned math.random. Okay, that was a way that I could generate a random decimal between 0 and 1. If rand num is less than 0.5, I'm simply going to alert heads. We'll do a simple coin flip. And then I'll just do an else, right? 50-50, so 0.5, and then from 0.5 to 1 would be tails. And if I run this, hopefully I should get the random number we'll choose. In this case, tails. Hit refresh again, this time heads. Beautiful. Okay, now if I wanted to repeat this though, so in JavaScript we had a while loops and for loops. And Python for loops are a little bit different than in JavaScript, but while loops are very similar. So let's actually start with a while loop. I'm just going to have a let n be assigned 1 while n is less than or equal to 5, let's say. And then I want to do an n is assigned n plus 1. Or an n plus equals 1 or n plus plus. Okay, so this will set a variable to n while this is true, while 1 and n is less than or equal to 5, do whatever's in here, and then that n plus plus is important because it's going to make it increase, right? And what do I want to do? Well, I'm just going to add a little comment here, flip a coin. I'm going to take all this code and put it inside of here. Now again, this would run, but I do want to indent it. Add a little comment here, increment n. So now this is the body of the loop that's going to repeat, right? It'll get a random number and then test the random number and give me heads or tails and then add 1 to n. If I didn't add 1 to n, of course, this would be an infinite loop. But hopefully this should loop 5 times. So once, twice, 3, 4, 5, done. Okay, awesome. And of course, if I wanted some variables to keep track of totals, right, I could have num heads is assigned 0, let num tails is assigned 0, and then every time I roll a heads, I could go num heads plus plus, and every time I roll a tails, I can go num tails plus plus. And in fact, let's change the order of this. I'm going to hit Control X and Control V. And then after we do our heads here, let's just output H and then num heads. And then we'll output T plus num tails. And an end bracket. And then I'm just going to copy and paste this to here as well. Change that to tails. Just so it'll print out heads, it'll print out tails, but it'll also update the totals for us. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, that doesn't look good. It should have given me tails 1. Oh, now it did. Heads 1, tails 3. Okay, well, it looks just that first output was weird. Oh, because I have the order in the wrong order here. All right, I want to update to numtails first and then alert the message. All right, so whichever one I get, I update the total and then I print it out. Okay, try that again. So heads, yeah, 1 head. Tails, so 1 and 1, etc., etc. Okay, good. And of course, if I wanted to change how many times I loop, I could do this. I could ask the user, how many times would you like to flip the coin? And then use that as a variable. But that should loop 5 times. Okay, now let's see what this looks like in Python. So first step in Python here is this math.random. In order to do random in Python, we actually have to, it doesn't come built in, we have to import a random module. Okay, and basically import random just says, I'm going to do just some random stuff in this program, so please import the random part of Python that's required. It doesn't come, you don't always need it, so it doesn't always load it. This is telling it I want to load it. And then we can go random and then go dot to look inside of that module. And there's a bunch of random functions, actually quite more powerful than what comes built in with JavaScript. The one I think I'm most familiar is rand range. And rand range, we usually just give a start and a stop and an optional step here. The start is inclusive, so if I wanted a number between 1 and 100, I would go 1, 101. Okay, and I'll just go rand num is assign that. And then let's just print out print rand num just to test this. So 65, 72, 95, etc. So rand range gives me an integer between 1 and up to 101, but not including it. So if I want to do a coin flip simulator, I'm going to suggest I do 1, 3, because then I'm going to get an integer. Either I'm going to get a 1 or I'm going to get a 2, but it doesn't include the 3. So 2, 1, etc. like that. Okay, cool. And then, yeah, once I get that random number, I'm just going to add a comment here, flip a coin. I do my if statement. If rand num is equal to 1, and then remember do a colon and indent, then I'm going to print heads. And then I guess I just need an else, print tails. And that should do it once every time I run it, right? Tails, etc. If I wanted to repeat this, the while loop is actually very similar. I'll have an n is assigned 1, while n is less than or equal to 5, but then I do a colon, just like if statements. If I want to say what's inside of a while loop, now notice it's giving me an error here. It gives me a little underline. Expected an indented block, right? Because we need to indent. So I just hit tab there, select everything, hit tab. Right, we want to indent. While this is true, do what's indented. And then to stop, you just stop indenting to stop the loop. And we can just print goodbye or something just to show you that, okay, everything indented in here is part of the while loop. And when I stop indenting, then it's done. Yeah, let's see if this works. Oh no! So well, this is good. Infinite loop, right? This is an infinite loop because n is 1, n is always going to be 1 is less or equal to 5, and I forgot to update. N is assigned n plus 1 or n plus equals 1 we can do. All right, that increment, oops, wrong comment here. Increment n. Let's try that again. We'll hit stop, hit run again. Hopefully it recovers from that infinite loop. Sometimes infinite loops do bad things. Okay, come on, run. Come on, you can do it. It's still stuck doing stuff. Oh no, it said goodbye here. Oh, there we go. Or maybe just, let me just hit refresh here. Just do a little reboot, clear the console, make sure everything's good. Or it's not good, failed to connect, awesome. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, great. So now that we've got it incrementing properly, it's not an infinite loop anymore. It'll loop 5 times. If we wanted to do 10 times, right, just change that to 10, and it'll run 10 times. And then, of course, there's the totals, right? We can do num heads is assigned 0, num tails is assigned 0, and whenever I print heads here, we can go num heads plus equals 1. Can't do plus plus, remember? Num tails plus equals 1 will work fine. And then we could print out the totals as well. I'm going to leave that for you. But that'll definitely give us our totals as well, which allows us to do things with this while loop too, right? We can actually, instead of using n, we could actually keep looping while num heads is less than 5. I want to keep looping. And then we don't need this n anymore. And num heads is less than 5, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once we reached 5, this wasn't true anymore, so the while loop stopped and it ended. Okay, so you can do that as well. I'm going to go back to the n value though. And like I said, you can print out the totals and stuff. I'm not going to do that. I will do a quick note on for loops. I don't want to go into for loops a ton. For loops in Python are a little bit different. If you want to research them, that's great. But there is a pretty easy way if you want to just repeat something for, and you can just do any variable for n in range, and then you give it a number. And I'm just going to say print high. Oh, I did something wrong. I didn't indent properly. Kind of weird doing it in the console. I'll just do it in here. For n in range 10, print high. Okay, and this variable can be anything, but there's just this range function that generates a range of 10 values, and then n loops through those 10 values. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you wanted to only do it 8 times, you would just put an 8 there. Okay, so that's a really easy way to just loop a set number of times. I'll just make a little note here. Use a for loop to run a set number of times. And you don't need that. The while loop works great, right? 1 to 10, and we increment. That'll loop 10 times as well. But it is a little bit of extra lines of code. We could have just done a for n in range 10 here, and it would have looped 10 times. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there. That should, you know, this couple videos here, I just wanted to show you the similarities between JavaScript and Python. And you'll notice like the algorithms and the steps you need to do are very similar. You just got to kind of learn the syntax of Python, how it works. Indentation, really important in these colons, right? Remember that. The variables, you don't need to use let. But yeah, we've done input, we've done output, we've done variables, we've done if statements, we've done some loops. And there's lots more to learn about Python, but for this small unit that we're doing, that's the main expectations I have for you, is to understand just the basics. Variables, input, output, if statements, and loops. Use those skills to complete the assignments that I've asked you to do. And if you need any help, make sure you let me know. Okay, hope this series kind of helped you, can get you started working on and finishing your assignments. All right, take care.